Good morning, friends. Myself, Dr. Nidhi Darbari, on My Education Treasure. Today, in my present video, I am going to tell you about the stimulus variation skill of micro teaching, its types, forms, and factors. Stimulus variation is a way of enhancing children's learning by helping them remain attentive. Human nature requires variety. Variation is the spice of life. Many people like idli sambar, but if it is served in about 5 or 6 continuous meals, the eater loses appetite and interest and wants a change. The same is true of classroom activities. The students usually learn through one or a combination of such senses as sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. Each of these senses need to be stimulated through the use of different methods and teaching material so as to sustain interest and attention of the students. The message in variation is that whichever sense we want to sensitize, we vary our mode of sensitization so as to reduce boredom and increase interest and attention of students to ensure effective learning. Every learning is unique, influenced by the emotion of the teacher and student who can make lesson interesting through the effective use of stimulus variation to make students motivated on grasping concepts. Stimulus refers to agent or action or condition that elicits or accelerates or arouses to physiological or psychological action, activity, or response. However, a continued use of a stimulus may induce disinterest and inattention due to many psychological and physiological factors. The teacher presents various stimuli such as movement of the bodily gestures, changes in speech, focusing of the feeling, changes in the interaction style in the students, pause, and change in the order of audio-visual aids which function as stimuli. The variation in the stimuli generates interest among students in their learning and hence helps in their academic achievement. According to Longman's dictionary, stimulus variation is something which is the cause of activity. A skillful change in the stimuli is known as the skill of stimulus variation. A teacher who is able to vary stimulus, his lessons becomes effective as there is high participation with students and great achievement of the lesson objectives. Positive results of students who are given a task in a more interesting lesson can perform well, resulting in no disciplinary problems. Stimulus. Stimulus is something that excites, rouses, and quickens our thoughts and feelings. Something that directly influences the activity of an organism, and something that excites our sensory organs and makes us to react. Variation. Variation is the process of introducing purposeful changes in teaching. The product is classroom activity characterized by variety. Shostak says that stimulus variation is teacher action designed to develop and maintain a high level of student attention during the course of a lesson by varying the presentation. Sneha Joshi has said what to change, when to change, and how to change requires a skill on the part of the teacher for securing and sustaining attention at high level. Such a skill is named as skill of stimulus variation. Types of variation. There are 3 main types of variation: variations in the teacher manner, variations in the instructional material, and variations in the kind of teacher-student interaction. Variations in the teacher manner include voice, focusing, use of verbal markers, pausing, eye contact, gesturing, movement of the teacher. Variations in the instructional material include shifting sensory focus, means varying the senses that students are using, the shifting from verbal to visual focus or vice versa. Students might require to touch, see, smell, or feel. If these senses are not varied, it means that those students who are interested in hearing are going to benefit, and those students who are interested in touching are not benefiting. Variations in the kind of teacher student interaction. The changes in the pattern of interaction between the teacher and student activities. Forms of variation. Introducing variation is necessary because each and every student would have something in which they are interested. There are following forms of variation. Variation in methodology. Different students prefer to learn in different modes. So a teacher has to vary methodology, use visual learning because it provides opportunities to see. For example, demonstration, games, group work, songs, dramatization, storytelling, and jokes are part of stimulating these unique students at every angle. Variation in questions. Questions is also a stimulus. It provides students with opportunities to talk and express. Questions themselves should be varied, for example, low order and high order questions. When a student asks a question, the teacher should not directly answer the question. Let the student finish his question first so as to give time to the teacher to prepare for a suitable and right answer. Variation in voice. The use of pitch in voice projection as a stimulus should indicate relative importance of information. That it should indicate happiness or sorrow. In other words, variation can be low or high, accent of voice can be reduced, thus showing speech pattern as a way of stimulating students' interest. Vary marking style. An effective teacher should vary the marking or comments. Variation in appearance. The teacher must change dressing on daily basis and change of hairstyle. Variation in introduction and conclusion. There are so many ways of introducing the lesson and making conclusions. Students get interested and easily get in the lesson if the introduction given of the new lesson is extraordinary or when it is concluded in a creatively new note. Problems in implementing. Teacher might want to use various instructional material but lacks resources. Teacher's expertise might want to discharge duty, but if he lacks professionalism, whatever done becomes meaningless. The teacher may mistime their variations, resulting in wrong timings of variation. Stories and jokes might be unrelated. Kinetic movement might disturb students' concentration. The teacher can exhibit different manners and style. Teacher's manner and style can be categorized into two: verbal manner and style and non-verbal mannerism. Verbal manner and style can be understood as a way of stimulating thoughts, ideas, concepts and feeling through oral language. It is a major medium used by teachers to communicate. These are some of the areas to be considered under verbal manner and style. The first one is voice. Audibility of the voice is one of the important tools for a teacher. A teacher needs to speak loud enough for all to hear, but it should not irritate the students. Clarity of idea. Choosing appropriate words and putting sentence structure in logical sequence is important to make the idea clear. The sentences should be precise and suitable to the student's level of understanding. Teachers should avoid use of run-ons, fragmented or incomplete statements and questions. Pronunciation. Each word and sentence need to be distinctly pronounced with consonants and vowels correctly phrased. Variation and emphasis. The rate, volume, resonance of speech need to be varied. Silence or pause or emphasis need to be practiced to gain attention or for giving importance to a particular statement. Language usage. A teacher is expected to use grammatically correct language. It is an important to usage of slang and sloppy speeches such as gonna, kinda or want to, won'ta, ya, etc. Verbal mannerism. Eliminating speech mannerism that distract or annoy the students. For example, frequent use of okay, isn't, oh, alright, throat clearing, etc. Non-verbal mannerism can be understood as a way of stimulating thoughts, ideas, concepts and feelings through non-verbal language. Facial expression. Face is the mirror of the heart. Volumes of words can be communicated through facial expression. It is good to support the words used with appropriate facial expression instead of being expressionless and dull. For example, if the teacher is not happy with the answer given by the children, it could be shown by the facial expression. Movements. Varying the stimulus by moving around the room to the chalkboard or other side of the classroom helps in managing the classroom. But it is important to maintain eye contact with the individuals or the group of students even during the movements. Gestures. In order to support what the teacher says, gestures may be used. It helps students to understand better. Gestures are more important, especially for the lower classes whose vocabulary is limited. Distracting mannerism. Some of us have the habit of adopting typical mannerism while teaching. This sort of mannerism distracts students' attention. There are many such mannerisms practiced by different teachers without being conscious of. Example, pulling the hair, biting the nail, wiping the face or eyes, kicking the chair, etc. If you found the video to be informative and interesting, I request you all to please give a like to my video to motivate me, share it with others and subscribe it so that whenever I upload a new video, you will get a notification. The next is eye contact. Through eye contact, the teacher can make each student feel that he is being addressed, included or noticed by the teacher. This helps in motivating the students to listen to the teacher. It also helps the teacher to communicate the message directly to the students. Silence or pause. Use of silence or pause is one of the important skills in gaining attention of the students. If the students are making lot of noise while the teacher is talking, and suddenly if the teacher stops talking, the rhythm of their talk breaks and the students start paying attention again. A short pause also provides time for them to think. Physical contact. Sometimes it is necessary to compliment children with a little pat. It encourages him or her to participate further, but it should be used with much discretion. There are many categories of children with various personality traits. In order to cater to the different learning styles of each student, a teacher needs to vary the manners and style. Factors influencing students. There are a number of factors which influence what the students are likely to attend to, like intensity. A loud sound, a bright light can capture anyone's attention. However, continuity of loudness and brightness tend to have a quick decreasing effect in attracting attention. Contrast. Anything which is bigger than other things in the surrounding environment attracts attention. One's perceptual field makes a difference in attracting. Movement. A moving thing attracts attention more in comparison to a fixed thing. Self-activity. Attention is sustained if the students are asked or motivated to engage themselves in instructional activities. Audio-visual aids. It has been proved that audio-visual aids have great potential to help students in their learning. Audio-visual aids are a powerful medium to attract and hold students' attention. Teacher's personal behavior. If the teacher is enthusiastic, stimulating, energetic, and expressive, he gets more attention than when he is dull and monotonous. Thank you very much for patiently watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe.